he learned. And now, to say it forward, Mr. Archie de la Cruz.
Napansin ko, may mga series of counselists ako ngayon na hinahandle sa aming counseling center, syempre, na may mga pare-parehong denominator yung kanilang mga presenting cases. And I noticed, habang pina-file ko ang mga notes na ito, it seems that itong mga millennials at mga young adults ngayon na lumalapit sa amin for intervention, meron silang halos pare-parehong reported cases on what we call sa psychology at counseling, dysthymia at saka existential depression. Ang dalawang cases na ito nangyayari sa atin ngayon ay may kinalaman sa mga tao na nag-struggle sa mga bagay na para bagang paulit-ulit nangyayari. Nagiging repetitive, routinary, and then they sort of lose the tendency to give meaning to what they do on every single day. For example, may mga tao na tinatamad gumising kinabukasan sapagkat na-realize sila, pipila na naman sila sa MRT, sa LRT, na-anticipate nila yung traffic sa EDSA at Mindanao Avenue kung saan panlupalop ng Metro Manila at parang na sila ay bumabagal ang tendency nila o nawawala ang kanilang mga gana para magtrabaho at gumising. Sa mga estudyante naman, ng mga counselors ko, napansin ko na kapag iniisip nila halimbawa yung gigising ng umaga, mag-aaral ng ganitong oras, uwi, gagawa ng assignment, maglalaba, matutulog, at paulit-ulit, no? Para bagang sinasabi na life is seemingly nagiging dull at boring at parang nawawalan ng katuturan at kahulugan para sa kanila and they lose the meaning to finding the beauty of life. At ito yung napapansin natin hindi lamang sa mga millennials, hindi lamang sa mga young professionals, maging sa mga adults na katulad natin na hindi natin namamalayan pero meron din pala tayo ng ganong symptoms. You know, personally, I see this as something that's serious sapagkat if ito ay napabayaan natin, it may snowball or result into something more serious like for example, ma-develop into anxiety at pag ito ay nangyari for a period of time, for example, about mga 5 to 6 months sa paulit-ulit, it may be categorized as generalized anxiety disorder. And we don't want that to happen sa atin. Kasi mga symptoms niyan ay halimbawa profuse sweating, rapid beating of the heart, kahit di ka na masyadong mahilig magkape, tapos yung problema sa pag-ihi, problema sa pagdumi, at problema sa indigestion, sleeplessness, at mga mood swings, na kung iisipin natin, halos hindi siya nalalayo sa mga symptoms ng depression. So pag ang stress nangyari sa atin na pabayaan, it may result to anxiety, it may snowball into something more catastrophic at gusto nating masawata kagad yan. Now, pag nadidebilitate tayo o napanghihinaan tayo, nahahamper tayo gawin ng mga bagay na dapat ginagawa natin on a daily basis kapag kahinayaan natin itong mangyari pa rin sa atin. Ang anxiety kasi ay may mga pulupulutong siya o parang may mga kumpul siya ng mga negative feelings inside of us that develop into something more serious. For example, you worry a lot. Ang pag-aalala is a chain of negative reaction that happens inside of us that halos nagiging immobile tayo. I imagine, ito ay isang illustration, ikaw ay nakaupo sa isang rocking chair, you keep on moving, but it does not lead you anywhere. And that's called worry. And then when you have anxiety, you become afraid. Natatakot tayo. Meron tayong mga kinakatakutan na para bagang valid, pero hindi naman valid. And then, of course, yung stress, no? When we are worried, when we are actually afraid, and then nade-develop sa atin yung stress, at tayo ay nagiging immobilized, tayo ay nagiging debilitated. And then, of course, we have this concern. Ibig sabihin, ang concern naman, our tendency or willingness to do something about all these things, our fear, our worry, and our stress. Although, sometimes, stress may be good to keep pushing ourselves, but the moment it becomes so excessive, hindi na talaga siya maganda. Now, ganun din naman sa anxiety. I remember lang yung exhortation lagi ni Paul sa Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Do not be anxious about in anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, we should present our request to God. No, as a person who keeps learning the Bible at learning sa ganitong mga areas of life and dealing with anxieties and stress, sa tingin ko naman, pag sinabing do not be anxious, ibig sabihin lang, do not excessively give in your energy in your life circulating on these areas of life. Sa akin kasi, may tinatawag na existential anxiety, parang may existential depression. It's part of life. It's a matter of embracing the realities and the challenges and difficulties of life every single day, one step at a time, and allowing yourself to breathe from time to time and just realize na some things in this life may be normal. That the normalizing is also part of making our life more sensible and making sense that I can live my life in sanity at embrace things as they are and do something about it to live my life more productively and beautifully.